Fancy meeting you here. Friday, friends. Hopefully it's been a good week, good day. And thank God for Friday, and thank God for the weekend. Thank God for the beginning, right? For today. Hopefully you guys are feeling well. Pretty good spirits, good health, and nurturing yourselves. Right? Take some time out to do that. I'm happy you made it here today. If you got anything burning on your heart and you want to unmute yourself and speak about it, feel free to do so. If anything comes up as we begin and you cannot hear me, or something goofy happens, please let me know. Feel free as you sit, begin to detach yourselves from the day, from the ebb and flow of the week, or what's to come over the weekend. Quote for today by Mary Wollstonecraft. And she says, "The beginning is always today." Plain and simple as that. The beginning is always today. You know, and to take it a step further, we have the opportunity to begin again each time we take a inhale and an exhale, allowing ourselves to start over regardless of what happened, how we feel, what didn't happen. We get the opportunity to begin again, starting with today, this breath, this opportunity, this time that you've taken out for yourselves. Mindful movements, our theme for this late afternoon. Make it all about how you're breathing, where you're breathing, why you're breathing. Allow yourself to truly experience, to allow yourself to explore a deeper version of yourself. Feel free to close your eyes. To allow yourself to settle in. Allow yourself to connect, truly deepen your connection. You allow yourself to breathe life in, feel yourself expanding, growing lighter, feel yourself opening and letting go. Feel yourself softening where you need to soften. Truly aware of the entire in-breath. Truly aware of the entire out-breath. In-breath, aware. Out-breath, relax, let go. Be free. Take a deep breath in and retain it at the top. Ujjayi, exhale slowly. in and hold. Ujjayi exhale. Let's do it one more time. Deep breath in and hold. Ujjayi exhale. Blinking the eyes softly open. So let's take your right hand. Actually, let's come into Sukhasana. Easy pose. So again, mindful movement. So notice if the toes are extended, how do you feel? What are you experiencing in your knees? How can you deepen what's going on in your ankles? How much more can you lengthen your spine? How much more can you open up and broaden across the chest and shoulders? And then notice what happens there. Notice what happens when you flex the toes, right? So the feet are flat. So it's as if you're trying to stand on the wall to your right and then the wall to your left. Does that change anything? Experience comfort or discomfort, more stability, just more awareness in your knees, or any other part of your body. Hands just lightly resting on the knees. Again, lengthening, broadening, opening it up, softening, smoothing out the inhales and the exhales. Then maybe can you sit up a little taller. So again, find the position for the feet that work best, make the best sense. And then let's plant your right or your left hand out to the left, right? So arm is straight. Maybe you lightly press the mat with your palm, allow your palm to rest against the mat rather, sitting up nice and tall. And then take your right arm and extend it straight up to the ceiling. All right, let's reach and lengthen through the fingertips, relax the shoulders, take a deep breath, then very gently reaching over to your right. You might have to walk your left hand out a little further, right? So we're not collapsing in the side of the body. We're breathing length into the side of the waist on the right side, but not so much where we're hunching the shoulder, allowing there to be as much space that you can possibly make out. Right? Lengthening through the fingertips, relax the shoulders. Maybe tensing your fingers. So maybe you need a little bit more space, tensing the fingers, lifting the palm off the mat. And then where can you experience a little more lightness? So the left hand or the fingertips are resting, but can you lighten them a little bit? Can you sit up a little taller? You can breathe in that stretch into the right side of your body. Then maybe the chin is heavy. Maybe you lift the chin, but no strain in your neck. Still sitting up tall. We're still lengthening, we're still resisting that urge to hunch the shoulder or to reach so far to where we start to hunch the shoulder, start to hug the shoulder blade down your back. Again, nice and light. Whatever's touching the mat on the left side. Good, let's come back to center. Let's take your right hand to the thigh or knee. Same thing with your left. Again, sitting up nice and tall. And perhaps closing your eyes here, okay, lengthening a little bit more, broadening perhaps more. And then right hand, maybe press the palm lightly. Sitting up tall, take the left arm and extend it straight up. Take a deep breath and let's reach, and then reaching over to your right. Maybe walking the hand a little further, maybe tinting the fingers right off the bat. You can pay attention to what you're experiencing in your neck, right? Any strain, any place. How can you take your gaze someplace a little different, regardless of where you took it on the previous side? Just allow yourself to begin right here. Regardless of what you've done before, if you've ever done this stretch, do your best to let go. Again, notice again what's happening with the feet. Are the toes flexed or not? Does that change anything? Does it allow you to sit up maybe a little taller? Relax the shoulder a little bit more. Again, maybe towards the chin. Well, let's come back to center. Let's take both hands to your thighs. Again, sit up a little taller. And then let's take the arms, extend them out in front of you. Feel free to make any adjustments. A lot of times I'll just kind of shift. And then instead of maybe ankle over ankle, I'm more like shin over shin. A little bit more comfort to me. That inside of my shins. Can you sit up a little taller? Can you reach through the fingertips without rounding the shoulders? Again, sitting up tall, retracting the shoulders. Maybe spreading the fingers, lengthening through the fingertips. So rooting, lengthening, allowing yourself to be pulled back. So imagine you have strings attached to the backs of your shoulders and someone's pulling you back and someone's pulling you forward. So you're kind of resisting in both directions. Not too far back, not too far forward, but right in the middle. And then perhaps closing your eyes. Notice what happens if you keep the spread in your fingers. You relax the shoulders at the same time. Perhaps closing your eyes. Notice again if you're rounding, you're sitting up a little taller. Where's the direction of your shoulder blades? You run them down your back a bit more, sitting up a little taller. Let's interlace the fingers. Let's press the palms forward. So arms are still out in front of you. Palms are pressing forward. Resisting that urge to round. Again, sit up tall. Let's take the arms straight up. Whatever straight up means to you. It could be a lot further forward of the ears, or it could be even with the ears. But not so much where you start to hunch the shoulder. Once you start to feel the shoulders start to lift up, stop there. And then sit up a little taller. The arms back out in front of you. Continue to sit tall. Continue to let go. Release the interlace. Fingertips out in front of you. Spreading the fingers maybe a little wider. Again, resisting that urge to round, sitting up tall. And then start to experience a little more lightness. So maybe you're sitting super heavy. Maybe you flex the toes, and that's what I experience, right? When I flex the toes, it allows me to sit up a little taller, to experience a little bit more lightness right there. Not so heavy in your seat. You relax the shoulders. And let's release the hands. Continue to sit. Continue to broaden. Continue to let go. Nice. Let's come to stand on your hands and knees. Spreading the fingers nice and wide. Think joint stability. Find that. Same thing with the lower body. Think joint stability. Allow yourself to connect a little deeper, spreading the fingers. Really noticing your hands and your fingers on your mat. Start to find some lightness, start to press up. And then continue to lengthen forward, but not so much to where you're shifting the hips forward, just enough where you can reach the sitting bones, those tiny little bony protrusions. Just imagine there's a string attached to them. And you're being pulled back. There's another string attached to the crown of your head. You're being pulled forward. You're in a nice little neutral place. You can spread the fingers.
More breath right here. So since you cannot see your body, just start to scan your body. Notice. And then make some adjustments based on what you're noticing. Where can you allow yourself to experience a little bit more ease within the effort? Take a deep breath in. On the exhale, let's roll over your toes. Actually, we won't stay right here. So let's curl the toes of the left foot and then gently slide the left foot back. We'll pause here. So as you press through your left heel, really firm up your left thigh. You're still spreading the fingers wide. You're still pressing up into that space between your shoulder blades. Your neck is still long. Take your right arm and extend it out in front of you. Don't forget about the leg, right? You're pressing through the heel, you're firming up your thigh. Don't forget about the arm. You're lifting through the fingertips and you're relaxing your shoulders. So a few different things happening all at once. And you're breathing, smooth, steady, super controlled. Notice what happens with the hands still on the mat. The fingers just kind of hanging out. Can you spread them wider? Take a deep breath. Hand and knee to the mat. And then right toes, curl them. Slide that right foot back slowly. Again, press through the heel. Continue to spread your fingers. Continue to press the mat away from you. Firming up your right thigh a bit more. Lengthening out through the crown of your head so the head's not heavy. There's no huge strain in the back of the neck because the gaze is out in front of you. So we're neutral here. Taking the left arm, extend it forward. But not so much to where you're allowing that shoulder to go along, right? Relax the shoulder. Continue to firm the thigh. Continue to engage your belly. Continue to just scan your body. And notice, not judge, but just notice what you're experiencing. Take a deep breath. Lower the hand. Let's do the same thing. Left leg, slide it back, or left foot. Take the right arm out in front of you. Again, let's find some length. Let's relax the shoulders. Right. Keep your neck nice and long. Spread your fingers. Check in with your breath. Where is it? Take a deep breath. Hand and knee to the mat. Very nice. Do the same thing on the right side. Take the left arm and extend it out. Can you firm where? Where can you let go? Take a deep breath. Hand and knee to the mat. One more time, we'll add on to that. Sliding the left foot back. Take the right arm forward. Either keep your toes where they are, engaging your mat, or lifting that leg. And hold for 10, 9, 8, 7. Relax the shoulders. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Arm to the right, leg to the left. Maybe the inner edge of the foot grazes the mat, maybe not. Hold for 10, 9, 8. Relax the shoulders. 7, 6, 5. Continue to press up to that space between your shoulder blades. 3, 2, and 1. Leg back, arm forward. Good. And very gently bend the knee, reach back for foot, ankle, kick back into the hand, or maybe hug the heel in towards you. Maybe a combination of both. Emphasizing the length in your cervical spine. So let's stretch that openness across the chest and the shoulders. Gently release, leg back, arm forward. Take a deep breath. Hand and knee to the mat. And then right foot, slide it back. Firm up your thigh. Take the left arm out in front of you. And then maybe keep the foot where it is or lift it and hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Can you spread the fingers, but let's soften them, ungrip the mat at the same time. 3, 2, and 1. Arm left, leg right for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Leg back, arm forward. And then let's bend the knee. And allow yourself to experience openness. Ease. In the midst of your effort. Take a deep breath. Let's release. Take a deep breath here. Hand and knee to the mat. Let's separate the feet, or the knees rather, a little wider. And then maybe bring the soles of the feet to touch, and then sit back towards your heels. Allow your forehead to graze the mat, or graze your fist, or two fists, or a block, or a blanket. And then take the arms out in front of you. Connect with the fingers. Allow them to truly experience your mat, connection with your mat. Then maybe spread the fingers a little wider. Relax your shoulders a bit more. Come back in a tabletop. Take a deep breath in. On the exhale, as you round your back, tucking your chin. Inhale as you draw your chest through. Exhale, round. Your chest draws through on the inhale. Exhale, round. Inhale as you draw your chest through. Exhale, round. Roll over your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. So right away, let's put the spacing in the hand, right? Let's change the angle. Let's turn the palms out, or fingers out towards the edges of your mat. And let's do the same thing with your feet. Walk your feet off to the edge of the mat, and then turn the heels in to face one another. And then start to descend the heels, whether they touch or not important. And then lift your hips nice and high. Just let your head go. Not so heavy to where there's a strain in the back of your neck, but maybe the biceps frame the ears. Still pressing through the toes. And then let's begin to press through the inner edges of your feet. And then relax the toes as you do so. Inner edges of the feet, right? Shoulder blades are hugging down the back. Couple more breaths right here. And then let's emphasize, you're still going to press through the inner edge, but soften there a little bit. And then start to emphasize pressing through the outer edges of the feet. Yet relax the toes. Continue to hug the shoulder blades down your back, right? Breathing right here. So maybe place a bend in your elbows and then wrap the elbows in towards one another. Does that change anything? Relax your jaw. Continue to press through the outer edges, or emphasizing the outer edges of the feet, but soften the toes. A couple more breaths right here. Okay. Let's line the heels up with the toes, so the toes are facing the top of the mat. And then take that angle out of the hands. Shift your weight forward, coming in the plank. Maybe sliding the feet back a bit more. Spreading the fingers. Shift your weight forward. Lower all the way through chaturanga to your bellies. Once you get there, all right, take the forehead to the mat. And then walk the hands out in front of you. And then let's spread the fingers here. Forehead grazes the mat lightly. Spread your fingers, pressing through the palms. Pressing through the tops of all 10 of your toes. firming up your thighs. And then as you press through the palms, start to pull, like you're trying to pull yourself forward as if you could move forward, right? And then hugging the shoulder blades down the back. Still breathing. And then the emphasis is on keeping your neck, your cervical spine nice and long. Tenting your fingers, so lifting your palms off the mat. And just coming up to the pads of the fingers. And then lift the head and chest. Your neck is still long. Your thighs are still engaged. You're still pressing through the tops of all 10 of your toes. Your breath is still smooth and steady. Take a deep breath. On the exhale, let's lift the right leg. Let's lift the left arm. You can keep the palm down. You can turn the palm in, your choice. Inhale as you lower. Exhale, let's lift the left leg and the right arm. Inhale, let's lower. Exhale, right leg, left arm. Lift the head as well. Inhale, let's lower. Exhale, the right arm, the left leg. Inhale, lower. Exhale, right leg, left arm. Inhale, lower. Exhale, right arm, left leg. Inhale, lower. Keep the head lifted. And then let's press the palms down. Spread your fingers. Let's lift your head and chest a little higher. Relaxing the shoulders, spreading the fingers even wider. Pressing through the tops of all 10 of your toes even more. And then firming up your thighs. And then just notice what you experience if you lift the belly button off the mat. Maybe walk the hands in a little bit, relax the shoulders. Take a deep breath. Lower on the exhale. Walk your hands back. So line your fingertips up the center of your chest, spreading your fingers, wrapping the elbows and curling your toes, engaging. Actually, let's do this. Keep your toes uncurled. Let's press up to your knees on the inhale. Then curl the toes, lift your hips downward facing dog on the exhale. And then very slowly, walking your feet forward to the top of the mat. Halfway lift on the inhale. Folding forward on the exhale. Inhale as you reach the arms high. Pausing here in Urdhva Hastasana. So let's energize the thighs a bit more. Let's root through the inner and the outer arches of the feet a bit more. Breathe into the sides of the waist a bit more. Pay attention to what you're experiencing in your lower back, where your front ribs are, right? Are they protruding out? Can you draw them in? Can you reach and energize the arms, but relax your shoulders at the same time? So space, shoulders and ears. Can you increase that? Notice what the hands are doing. Can you spread the fingers? Can you lengthen through the fingertips? Nice. Take a deep breath in. Folding forward on the exhale. Take your time. No hurry to fold forward. Notice how you feel in your lower back. Do you need to bend your knees to take any pressure off your back? Halfway lift on the inhale. Folding forward on the exhale. Arms, let's reach them high on the inhale. We'll pause here, Urdhva Hastasana again. Firm thighs, rooting deeply, reaching and letting go at the same time. Maybe close the eyes. Take a deep breath in. Folding forward on the exhale. Take your time to do so. Halfway lift on the inhale. We'll do it one more time. Exhale as you fold forward. Inhale as you reach the arms high. Maybe the palms come together to touch as you take your gaze high, but not so much to where if you take the palms together, there's really a lot of pressure in your lower back, the front ribs. You've got that banana shape going on. Right? Draw the front ribs in. If you have to take the palms apart to prevent that from happening, do so.
But keep that energy in the arms. Keep that reach through the fingertips. Maybe your gaze is straight out in front of you, but yet you choose to close your eyes softly. And then just scan your body. Check in what you're experiencing. Can you reach a little further, but continue to ground. Take a deep breath in. Folding forward on the exhale. Again, reminder, if you need to bend your knees as you fold forward, do so.
Halfway lift on the inhale. On the exhale, left foot step it way back. Left knee lightly to the mat. Uncurling the back toes. Framing the right foot. Equal weight into the right foot. If you need to move the right foot to the right, move it. Tinting your fingers, creating some more space. Shifting your hips forward. Reaching your sternum forward. Lifting forward out through the crown of your head. And then find that stability that happens, right, as you hug the right hip back. Press through the left knee, top of the foot, hugging the left hip forward. Stability, scissoring your hips in towards one another. Let's reach the arms high on the inhale. Maybe shift your hips forward a bit more. Right? Perhaps close your eyes. Just check in, right, what you're experiencing. Allowing yourself to begin right now. This breath. Take a deep breath in. Bend the elbows and open the chest. Again, arms high on the inhale. Bend the elbows and open. Check in with the right knee. Is it buckling to the inside? Can you work inner knee towards the outer knee? Let's reach the arms high. Do you find that tendency to grip the mat with your toes? On the exhale, bend the elbows and open the chest. Can you ungrip the mat? And just trust, right? Again, working those hips for stability. Taking the gaze high. Right? Lifting the chin so that you're not crunching in the back of the neck. So feel what it's like to be heavy in the head, and then feel what it's like to lift the chin to create some space in the back of your neck. Maybe interlacing your fingers. So maybe that interlace is not working for you, right? You can always just keep the elbows bent. You can also straighten the arms. Right? Noticing if you're crunching into the lower back as well. Right? Lengthen here. And then round back again, lift the chin. Good, let's take your gaze forward here. So if you've got that interlace, keep it. If you don't have it, maybe you come into it. And then as we straighten the right leg, slide the heel forward, and then stand tall. So embrace that fact that you kind of feel like maybe you're on a tightrope. Really dig into the right heel. Continue to hug your right hip back. Continue to press through your left knee, hugging the left hip forward. Take a deep breath, and then start to work the torso, hinging at your hips. Start to work the torso towards the thigh. Really dig in here. And if that is just too unstable for you, you can always take your hands to either side of your right leg and work there. Or you can stay there with interlaced fingers. Just trust it. You fall out, no big deal. You'll be back. If you need some more space because your hamstring is super tight, feel free to slide it further forward. So Heidi, be mindful of this one here. Take your hands to the mat, and then just slowly begin to slide your right heel in. Start to shift your hips back towards your left heel. Maybe sitting on that heel. Maybe, you notice I've got my bolster here. You take a bolster, wedge it under your right hip. So now you've got something to take some of the weight off. You start to work the torso. So you can always just sit up here, emphasizing the stretch in the left thigh. Or you can take the stretch from the thigh and then include the hamstring, right, by hinging the torso forward. Maybe the hands framing the heel or the ankle. Maybe reaching for the ankle. Lengthening or reaching your sternum forward. Start to work the torso a little closer. Not important for the forehead to reach any part of the leg. Might make you feel good, right? Might maybe allow you to experience the stretch in the hamstring a little deeper. Let's shift the weight forward. So we're going to add in a twist. You can keep your knee where it is. You can take the left elbow outside of right knee. Maybe palms come together. Maybe left hand inside the foot. Maybe right thumb to right hip. Pressing your right hip back. Feel free to curl the toes under if you choose to do so. You can also take your left hand to a block. You've got a block handy. Create some space. Maybe tinting your fingers. One of my favorite things to do is I try to find as much space so I can breathe. Then start to spin the heart open towards the ceiling. And then can you sit a little lighter in that right hip? So know what it's like to feel heaviness there. Heat, lots. Notice what it's like to feel some coolness, some lightness. Lift up. Just allow yourself to experience that twist from the inside. Relax the shoulders. Good. Relax the toes. Start to work inner knee towards the outer knee. And then weight equally in the sole of the right foot. And then we'll frame the right foot. Very carefully step your back foot forward to meet your front. Very nice. Halfway lift on the inhale. Folding forward on the exhale. Inhale as you reach the arms high.
Maybe the palms touch here. Maybe they don't. Maybe that puts pressure on your back for the palms to touch. Maybe try here for a breath. Relax the shoulders. Take a deep breath in. Slowly as you fold forward.
Let's go in a big hurry. Halfway lift on the inhale. Working the second side. Right foot step it back, way back. Right knee to the mat. Uncurling the back toes. Equal weight in the left foot. Tinting your fingers. Again, give yourself some space to breathe. Shift your hips forward. Reach your sternum forward. Lengthen out through the crown of your head. Relax your toes. Quiet yourself. Allow yourself to be okay with having some thought cross your mind. Instead of ignoring it, just don't engage in it in a conversation. Know it's there. Just imagine if someone just kind of ran by and said, and as they got further away, it just got softer and softer. You don't have to wonder. You just heard it. And you allowed it to soften, right? So the next voice comes. Let's reach the arms, extend them up to the ceiling on the inhale. And then as you start to shift your hips forward, continue to breathe into the sides of the waist. Continue to create some energy in the arms. Right. Lengthening and reaching through the fingertips. Space between the shoulders and ears. Take a deep breath in. On the exhale, bend the elbows, no hurry. Inhale as you reach the arms high. Exhale as you bend the elbows. Again, arms high on the inhale. On the exhale, bend the elbows. Again, continue to shift, continue to lengthen, continue to round back, maybe interlacing your fingers, maybe interlocking your thumbs, maybe keeping the arms straight, perhaps keeping the bend in your elbows. There's lots of options. You can always take your hands to your thigh. Right? Continue to frame the foot. And creating some space. And slowly, as you start to shift your hips back to straighten your left leg, sliding the heel forward to flex or extend your toes. Then right away, dig into the right knee, hugging the right hip forward. Left foot, dig there, hugging the left hip back. Take a deep breath and lengthen, reaching the sternum forward. And then start to into the torso. Slow and controlled. Exercise your option to take your hands to the mat, either side of the heel, the ankle, maybe even blocks as well to create some more space. Reach the sternum. Start to work the torso a little closer. Couple more breaths. So embrace that wobble. Then as you begin to wobble, what do? Right? Not to say there's anything wrong with panic, but do you panic and fall out, or can you just feel the wobble and then notice, okay, I got this. I'm working my hips, I'm scissoring. Feel the stability. I can breathe through this. Couple more breaths. Do you allow yourself to fall out and just jump right back in there? avoiding yourself that frustration. Just making that part of your practice, releasing the hands to the mat. Again, be careful, just walking the hands back. Feel free to sit here. Feel free to wedge something under your left hip to take the pressure off of your knee if there is pressure. Feel free to breathe into that discomfort in the knee. As long as it's not a sharp shooting pain, breathe into it. Breathe into that tightness. Then either sitting there, experiencing that stretch in the thigh, or including the hamstring as well as you walk the hands out in front of you. Start to work the torso a little closer. Maybe holding the hand either side of the foot. Maybe taking the hands to the mat. Maybe holding on the either side of the ankle. You see if you can maintain length, right? So instead of tucking your chin, great thyroid stretch, right? Compression on the thyroid if you tuck the chin. But maybe you keep that length and you start to work the torso, so working the forehead towards the shin. Or imagine the forehead touching the ankle. Whether that touch is not important, but keeping that length in the spine. Right, as you plant the hands, slowly, as you walk the hands back, slowly shift your weight forward. You need the right elbow outside the left thigh. So I'll take my hand against my left thigh. Give me some space right away. Then I'll place the elbow. That's where I'm going. It feels right. Taking the palm. Lengthening out through the crown of your head. And not using my arm against my leg to really create a whole bunch of torque. Just for a little support. Maybe curl the back toes under to straighten the back leg. Soften the toes. Notice that knee's collapsing. Where's the weight? So begin to lift up, right? So notice what it's like to be heavy. Notice what it's like to lift up. Now just get myself some space. So I can breathe with a little bit more ease. Relax the shoulders. Can you soften the toes a bit more? Maybe close the eyes. Does that change anything? Good. Let's release the hands to frame the left foot. Very carefully step your back foot forward to the front. Halfway lift. So let's take your hands to your shins. And then hands touching your shins, maybe a little higher, right? Maybe ankles on shins. And then just allow the palms just to barely graze, right? As you engage the belly, lift your chest, continue to lengthen forward out through the crown of your head. Shift forward just enough before you feel that urge to scrunch the mat with your toes. Just feel that urge, you're going to tip over, right? And you engage your belly a little bit more. And maybe take your hands a little lighter on the leg, shift forward a little bit more. Lengthen forward out through the crown of your head. Imagine fingers to the front of your shoulders, just assisting you up, right? So retracting the shoulders, again, light hand on the shins. Maybe even tinting your fingers. Feel that lightness. And trust that you can go a little deeper with the torso, but continue to lift. So you might have slight bend in your elbows and soften the toes. Take a deep breath in. Folding forward on the exhale. Let's take your left hand to your left hip. Let's take your right hand to the front of your right knee. And all you're going to do is come up to stand with a bent right knee and balancing on your left. So all you're going to do is come up to stand. Right where you are. Stand up tall. Noticing if you're leaning back. Can you trust that you can stand up a little taller? Firming up your left thigh. If I were to remove my hand from my knee, my thigh is parallel to the mat. The block might not stay there, it might. Allow that to happen just like that. Right? It's not rested in my hip crease, it's just floating right there. Feel that. Take a deep breath. Pressing my knee into my hand, start to open the hip.
Still pressing the knee into your hand. Stand up tall. Draw the front ribs in. Hug the shoulder blades down the back. Maybe gaze over your left shoulder as you extend the left arm out to the left. Maybe you keep your hands at the hip. I'm still pressing my knee into my hand grip. That's going to prevent me from being pulled over to my left because I'm creating that counterbalance. Regardless of whether the arm is extended or not, let's come back to center. Let's just switch hands on the knee. Right hand to the right hip, left hand to the left knee. Still press into the hand grip. Still resist the knee from going any further. Still stand up tall. Still relax the shoulders. Start to take your gaze right and eventually over the right shoulder. And then maybe eventually extending the right arm out behind you. Still pressing into the hand grip. Still relaxing the toes. Still breathing. Right? Nothing's changed. Keep the leg lifted, untwist both hands to your hips. Take the right leg and extend it out in front of you. Take your arms, extend them high, reach and relax the shoulders. Can you lift your right leg a little higher? Perhaps a little higher. Perhaps a little higher. Relax the shoulders. Very slowly, per hands to heart center. Lower the leg. Maybe shake out the left. And then let's work the second side. Nice work. Let's reach the arms high on the inhale. Folding forward on the exhale. Half a lift. Right hand, right hip. Left hand, left knee. Here we go. Let's press up. Balance. Standing up tall. Rooting. Lengthening. Drawing the right shoulder back. Pressing the left knee forward. So there's your counterbalance. Take a deep breath. Slowly open the hip. Still pressing, still resisting. Gazing over the right shoulder. Hugging the shoulder blades down the back. Maybe extending the right arm out to the right. So I'm reaching left. I'm reaching right. I'm rooting down. I'm reaching high. Notice what happens when you firm up the right thigh a bit more. Take the hands to the hip. Bring the leg back to center. And then how softly, smoothly can you transition to the top. Take a deep breath. And then revolve in your twist. Softening your toes. Extending the left arm back. Pressing into your hand grip. Again, resisting, rooting down, extending it up, pressing forward, reaching back. Right, there's the stability right there. And then soften your gaze. Hands to hips, keep the leg extended as you go to twist. Pause here, just to regroup. Extend the left leg. Stand up tall. Lift the leg higher. Let's take the arms high. Right, maybe lift the leg higher. Doesn't matter if it's low, you can stay there, right? Just balance. Continue to firm up your right thigh. Continue to reach, maybe lift a little bit more, relax the shoulders. Maybe lift a little higher, reach a little further, maybe a little higher. Lower the leg, per hands on heart center. Maybe shaking out the right. Very nice. Let's come to lie on your backs. Nice, guys. And then let's bring the soles of your feet together to touch. And then hold on to your ankles. Right? There's one option right here. So the arms are straight. Start to assist or start to press your knees forward. Again, soles of your feet touch. Back of the head is resting lightly. The other option is to release the ankles. Allow the outer edges of the feet to rest, to meet the mat as the soles of your feet touch. If you need some support, you've got something you can wedge alongside your IT bands, right? Maybe your knees are resting there, or maybe a little higher IT band, maybe in the middle of your leg. You can rest there. Again, or you can continue to hold onto the inner edges, or hold on to the ankles, rather, as the arms straighten.
Drawing it back to the shoulders a little closer. Smoothing out your breath. Couple more inhales and exhales. Stick your hands to either side of your knees. And draw the knees together. And then we'll keep the bend in your knees, but we'll walk the feet out to where they're about hip distance apart. And then as you extend the arms alongside your body, setting up for bridge pose or set to bandha. Extend the arms alongside your body. Maybe the palms are down. Walk the feet in. The heels might raise the fingertips, which is a pretty good indicator. It really depends on how long your arms are, or how long your fingers or shorter your fingers are. Pretty good indicator that knees are over ankles or support. Spread the fingers, press to your palms, and then let's lift the hips. So I tend to, when I lift the hips, I end up pushing back a little bit. A lot of times I'll scooch forward a bit. If you've got a yoga block handy, you want to hold on to it between your knees, hold on to it. Otherwise, imagine you're holding on to it. But can you soften the toes as you hold onto that block? Inner thighs are engaging, spinning up towards the ceiling. Just as much weight on the pinky edge of the foot. You're taking the inner edge of the foot. And then just start to experience this, right? So imagine your sacrum, your tailbone. Start to work that towards your knees so you can create some space between you, soften the toes as you do so. So you may have noticed pressure in the lower back. Maybe that takes the pressure out. Slowly, as you, one vertebrae at a time, lower yourself back onto your mat. Again, let's do it again. Let's lift the hips. Maybe interlace the fingers. Maybe you push back as you lift up, so feel free to come in a little bit. And maybe you just allow your fingertips to graze your heels. Maybe you interlace the fingers again. Maybe you turn the palms up so that you can broaden across the chest and the shoulders. Soften the toes. Deep breath. Slowly lower. Let's do it one more time. Here we go. Let's lift up. Maybe you interlace the fingers. Maybe there's a different variation of a back bend that you'd rather explore. At this time, feel free to explore it. Just change it up and experience it. Allow yourself to begin. Find some newness. A better day to experience a new beginning than today, right now. Take full advantage of this breath. A couple more inhales and exhales. Slowly, let's lower. Let's extend the left leg out in front of you. Let's hug the right knee into your chest. Let's keep that left leg active, right? Let's flex the toes. Let's engage the inner left thigh. And then avoid the rib cage. Draw the knee slightly off to the right a little bit. And squeeze it in nice and snug. Draw the back to the shoulders a little closer. Smooth out your breath. And continue to notice what's happening with the left side of your body. Not just the side you're squeezing, but the toes, the foot, the thigh. Take your right arm out to the right. Shift your hips right, draw the knee across your body. Imagine there's a sandbag resting on the right shoulder, pretty heavy. Keeping that left shoulder or that right shoulder lifted itself off your mat. Just allowing you to twist in a place that keeps you safe. Doesn't put too much pressure any place. Just allows you to twist enough. Just breathing into it. Breathing into what your body is asking of you. Not trying to force it to do anything. Good, let's untwist. Give the knee one more squeeze in. Then let's switch sides, right leg forward, other the left knee in. Again, let's avoid the rib cage, right? Moving the knee off to the left a bit. Continue to pay attention to what's happening with the right leg. Firm the thigh, flex the toes, reach through the sole of the foot, squeezing that left knee in, drawing the backs of the shoulders, maybe pressing the back of the head light. Relaxing the jaw. Just add in our twist. Pay attention to what's happening. Same setup for the twist, but it's a different side. So honor where you are. Stay away from automatics. My leg lifted, not my leg. My knee reached the mat on the other side, so it should be good here. So allow yourself to twist right here. Forgetting about what the other side gave you. Making that so important. Let's untwist, squeeze. Draw the right knee in, squeeze. Lighter, lift the head. Extend the legs and the arms alongside your body. And then let's rest. Thankful for now. As you begin to gently reawaken your bodies. Wiggling your fingers and your toes. Maybe extending your arms over your head. And then flexing your toes, pressing out through the soles of the feet. Spin your left knee,
Let's just roll onto your sides. And when you're ready, pressing up to sit. And sitting to face the top of the mat. Bringing the palms together, bowing your chin, just pausing for a moment to give thanks. Thank yourselves for time well spent. Leave in peace, shine your light, spread your love. Taking your prayer hands to your third eye for beautiful thoughts, to your lips for kind words. And let's return them back to our hearts as we continue to nurture the love that resides in and all around each and every one of us. And until we meet again, namaste.